Welcome to 301 Banter, a show having conversations with the finest athletes across Minnesota. We delve into the trials and tribulations of the athletes, coaches, and broadcasters that make the sports world in Minnesota tick. So whether you're a diehard sports fan or just curious to learn about different people, join us for discussions and behind-the-scenes glimpses into Minnesota's vibrant sports community.
Welcome to 301 Banter, the podcast where we sit down with Minnesota's top athletes and dive into their journeys on and off the ice, court, or field. Today, we have a special guest, Jake Sibell. Jake got valuable experience at Niagara University before transferring to the University of St. Thomas. Over the last 2 years as a Tommy, Sibes has established himself as one of the top goalies in college hockey. He won the CCHA's 2023 October Goalie of the Month. The Tommy goaltender followed that up with a semifinalist nomination for the 2023-24 Mike Richter Award. This year, he has set a UST record for most saves in a single game. Now, as the history major balances athletics and academics, he continues to make an impact both on and off the ice. We're excited to dive into his journey, his breakout season, and what's next for him. Jake Sibell joins 301 Banter right now. All right, Jake Sibell. So you started your college hockey career at Niagara University, and then you transferred to University of St. Thomas. What factors went into that decision, and why St. Thomas specifically?
Well, to go into the decision of transferring, I had a full scholarship going into Niagara, and then I had my freshman season where I thought it went all right. Definitely not as good as I wanted it to be, but got to see some games, and then the second season where I played the second weekend and split, and then after that I didn't see the ice again. So that wasn't actually the decision. I was actually planning on going back, but then the coach brought me in and told me that they were taking my scholarship away. So basically got cut, and they said they would want me on the team, but weren't going to give me any scholarship for it. So I kind of took that as a kind of a sign that they didn't really like me that much. So entered the transfer portal after that, and St. Thomas reached out. They said that they had an opportunity. Obviously, I wasn't going to be given anything. I was going to have to go in and compete if I even got a game. But it was better than sitting as a third or fourth goalie at Niagara, where the coach didn't like me. So that was definitely factored in, and just having a new opportunity where I could go in, and even if I didn't play, at least it would be in a spot where I could have a fresh start.
Yeah, for sure. St. Thomas just right before you got there moved from Division 3 up to Division 1. And again, that happened before you got there, but what changes have you seen in the hockey program since you moved or got to St. Thomas?
Yeah, so obviously when I first got there, it was obviously they had 2 seasons under their belt, so they knew what they were doing and their process. But then you kind of see how it evolves, and I saw more support for the athletes. So like for myself, for my teammates, you get more support through like nutrition meetings. We got a new strength coach in the second year. Everything just they already had those things in place, but it's kind of like they were ramping them up through getting the Division One program. So obviously that helped a lot in the second year. And then, yeah, I think you kind of just have to get everyone in the program, everyone in not even just the program, but the whole school used to being a Division One school, and where athletics are a little bit more important. And I think you're going to see that St. Thomas is going to be good the next 2 or 3 years, even it's going to be their first year of real eligibility, and they're going to be turning some heads. So you're going to see that they do things right around there, and they're getting everybody on board throughout the whole campus.
Yeah. So kind of touched on it there. What was some just kind of broader campus, not necessarily athletic department changes that you saw at after the move.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the academic side where we have a, I don't even know what you would call her, kind of a athletic academic kind of bridge point. Is a woman that I love, but she helps us with everything. She helps like all the teams, so she does a crazy job there. But she also has to kind of talk to professors and get them to be on board that we're going to have to miss some classes, and they don't always like that very much. So um, definitely just getting the professors on board with being a Division I program that wants to compete, and it's a little bit less focused on the academics, but at the same time, it's on us to pick up that slack as students because the we're getting that slack as D1 athletes, but at the same time, we're going to have to pick it up because during the week we're going to have to grind in the classroom for sure.
Right, right. You're still student athletes and
Yeah,
not just athletes. And
yeah, for
uh,
sure.
speaking of students at large, how was the St. Thomas student section been for you guys?
I think throughout the year it got a lot better. I mean, it's obviously we're playing at Mendota Heights, so it's like a 15-minute drive from campus, and then you factor in that the normal student or like the average student is 18, 19 years old, and maybe they want to have a drink on a Friday night, so they're not going to want to drive to Mendota Heights to go watch a game after they've had one or two. So, um, I mean, other than that, later in the year, you saw the people that came into our barn. You saw that we had a lot more presence as a student section, and that was really exciting to see because I feel like everyone kind of feels that energy of going into the new building, the new arena down there. But it definitely got a lot better at the end of the year with that energy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you guys got to play the Gophers at the XL Energy Center last 2 years. And what was that experience like getting to play in the Wilds Arena?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play those two games, but I will say we did get to practice both years. I think both years, at least this year, we got to practice there the day before, and it's just like it's something else, man. You try not to get lost in the moment, and but at the same time, after practice, you kind of look around while you're drinking your water bottle and you're seeing all those banners that are hanging up of the teams that you want to play for one day. So it's definitely a like surreal experience that I didn't get to obviously have before because we played for Providence and then played for Cambridge, so you don't really get a chance to go to the X. But well, I know Providence does nowadays, but Cambridge definitely doesn't. But yeah, I mean, just a surreal experience and try to soak it all in. It was definitely really great.
Yeah. Um, the St. Thomas team, do you guys have any traditions or like pregame superstitions before, like as a team, um, before games?
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of like individual stuff that people do with each other that I don't really get involved with as much. But there used to be even more, and then some of them got phased out with our kind of crappy start to the year. But then as we got going again, we kind of got our new things, our new superstitions going. One thing that's for the whole team is between warm ups and getting on the ice for the national anthem, we do a prayer in the middle of the room. Obviously a Catholic university, so it's not illegal or whatever. So yeah, we do that, and I think everybody likes it. But other than that, all of it's just individual, and I have my own, but not really a whole team besides that prayer.
Gotcha, gotcha. And then you, this last February, you were able to set a St. Thomas record for most saves in a single game against Bowling Green. What does having that record at the school mean to you?
Um, it does mean a lot. I mean, you don't really think about it too much while you're in the game, but then afterwards, when you get that kind of notification on your phone that you set a record, and it's like, oh wow, like I'm going to leave a mark here at least for a couple or for a year of having that record. And I mean, hopefully Trotter doesn't have that many saves or that many shots against him next year, or Prasma for that matter. But um, hopefully it doesn't happen again where we get more than 50 shots against. But who knows? It might happen, you know. So um, not really not really looking too much into it, but it definitely feels good that some part of me is going to be left in the record books at St. Thomas because I do love it there.
Yeah, you want him to make those saves if he has that many shots on him, but you don't want him to have that many shots on him in the first place. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
um, then going back to last year, you were a semifinalist for the Mike Richter Award. You know, guys that have won it beforehand are Connor Hellebuck, who's arguably the best goalie in the league right now. Thatcher Demko and Jeremy Swayman also won the Mike Richter Award. What does that recognition um, mean to you? Um, yeah,
Yeah, it definitely means a lot. I mean, um, last year was special because we kind of got the perfect storm of I had good numbers, but also the team was playing really good in front of me. Um, so it feels really good to have that on my resume as well, just going into my minor professional career here. So that's obviously it was obviously exciting to hear that, but at the same time we were more focused on team stuff. Um, I thought I could have been up there this year as well. I had good stats at the start of the year, but obviously the wins weren't there, and that's what's going to get you recognized. So wasn't really too worried about that after our start of our season here, but um, yeah, it definitely feels good, and definitely congratulate all those guys that are on that list because it's hard to get up there, and um, it definitely means something.
yeah. There's only a few spots for nominations, and obviously only one person can win it. So tough,
Yeah, for sure.
tough award to win.
Yeah.
Um, so who were some of the biggest influences on your hockey career growing up, and maybe still to this day, they influence your game?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say my dad first and foremost. He's always the one that was driving me an hour to the cities to practice during the summers, um, driving an hour plus to every game for me, buying me all my equipment. Obviously, my grandpa buys in with that as well. But um, obviously, then there's the mental side of the game where he's always pushing me to get better and pushing me to find a better situation, not settle for being a backup. Um, Stuff like that is just stuff that he's really helped me with. So definitely my dad would be number one. And then there's my brothers. I got three older brothers, and then I got my youngest two older brothers, one younger brother, and one younger sister. They're always pushing me to do my best as well because they love me, and um, I think we all just love each other. So obviously, they factor in, and there's some motivation there with those guys. And um, yeah, I'd say my family is the number one thing.
Yeah, yeah, and your younger brother is currently playing at Cambridge. May have just finished. I don't know how old he is, but he's this past season played at Cambridge. How has been watching him play at where you played too? How has that experience been?
Yeah, I mean it's really special. I think I kind of bought into it a little bit. I go into their room sometimes. He was a senior this last year, but I go into their room as kind of a player coach, you know, and I'll go and get invested in the team as well, just because I went there and their coaches there are great and they welcome me in because just the things that I've seen playing junior and Division 1 hockey. So they welcome me in, and I get involved with the team, with the defense, because I like to give them hell in there. And watch my brother just, I was so proud of him because he started late. He actually started playing basketball when he was younger, and then didn't play goalie until he was a second year Pee Wee, I think, or maybe yeah, something like that. But he started later than most kids, and now he's got an NA3 tender. He's working on trying to get on a tier 2 junior team at NAHL. So we'll see about that, but definitely really proud of him. Trying to obviously he's trying to do the best he can with having an older brother kind of that's bearing down his neck all the time, trying to tell him what to do. So definitely proud of what he's done with or without me.
Yeah, yeah. So another kind of follow up to that. What advice do you have for high school players that are or juniors players that are currently in the um, college recruiting process.
Yeah. My number one advice would probably just be to work. Nothing can beat. I had a post of like from 2013 come up on my Facebook where nothing out performs hard work, and nobody's going to outwork me. And I think that's like that could be key for anybody that's in any system, any team, anywhere in the United States or Canada. Is if you have a good head on your shoulders and you're just working, someone's going to notice, and you're going to go to a place that you want to be.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The last question here. Um, got a would you rather question. So would you rather play an outdoor game against a random Division 1 team or have St. John's move up to D1 and get to reignite the Johnny Tommy rivalry again?
Um, I think I don't know. I never really, I've heard of the Tommy Johnny rivalry, but I never really knew anything about it. But I think I am going to go with that just because I don't even like outdoor games that much. Like, obviously, it's really cool, but at the same time, I'd rather have a controlled environment where I can control most of what I can control. And when you're outdoors, you never know if the sun's going to be out, or if there's going to be too much snow. So, I think for the fans, I'd take the Tommy Johnny rivalry, even though I don't even really know what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean if you ask some of the older Tommy fans, I'm sure they'd say the same thing just to get that heated rivalry. Well, thank you for joining in on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we can see you play somewhere next year too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure I'll find a spot, and if it's somewhere close, I'll make sure to reach out to you for some tickets.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you.